Copyright disclaimer. Under Title 17 U.S.C. Section 107, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Okay, this is from Tampa Bay Times. Deaths at Scientology drug treatment program. Narconon bring investigation. You know, the one that never goes anywhere. By Thomas C. Coben. Published August 16, 2012. Already shaken by a series of high-level defections, accounts of abuse among its staffers, troll, and the high-profile breakup of Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes, the Church of Scientology now faces scrutiny over its controversial drug treatment program, Narconon. 4 deaths, by the way, 4 is the death number, one of them. 4 deaths at Narconon's signature treatment facility in eastern Oklahoma have prompted local law enforcement and health officials to investigate the center and its program. The inquiry began after Stacy Dawn Murphy, 20, was found dead in her room in July 19 after returning to the facility from a 1-day leave. The cause of death is under investigation. Well, you guys know a lot of them don't do medical withdrawal for these folks that are going through medical, alleged like detox. They just think that it's the brightest thing in the world to just detox people off of drug or alcohol with no medical intervention. 2 other clients died within the previous 9 months. Another died in 2009. In 2 of those cases, serious health issues were cited. Of course they were. You guys see? Couldn't have been Scientology, that negligence and, well, it could be medical negligence, wrongful deaths, maybe trying to make people go cold turkey off alcohol or drugs, which is really the most moronic, imbecilic, homicidal thing to do. The cause of the other death is unclear. Gotta wonder how much somebody got paid, right? In April, authorities in Quebec shut down a Narconon facility in the city of Trois-Rivières, saying certain treatment procedures may represent a health risk. No kidding. And it's too bad people had to die. People have been dying in these facilities for how long? And the government officials are not doing anything. Church of Scientology Public Affairs Director Karen Powell. Is she the same Karen Powell over the blue building, you guys? Said there's no suggestion the 2 investigations have anything to do with Narconon's methods of drug rehabilitation. This is what happens when you just get incompetent, untrained people trying to detox people. It's a shame. She said media have misrepresented facts. No, that's what Scientology does. About the Oklahoma investigation, but offered no specifics. They never do. As for recent incidents that generated unfavorable publicity for Scientology, Powell said, there is no relationship to any of these things, other than the continued growth, it's a lie, of the church and its social and humanitarian programs. Keep telling yourself that, Karen. Narconon centers claim success rates of 75 to 90%, but their methods developed by Scientology founder L. Ron Hubbard have drawn fire over the years. They include high doses of niacin and lengthy sauna sessions that are said to release stored drug residues from fat tissue, a Hubbard theory contested by many health professionals. The Narconon network of treatment centers is part of a Church of Scientology sector called the Association for Better Living and Education. Well, there's another one of their fake organizations, or ABLE. And that's funny, too. Didn't L. Ron Hubbard always talk about people's ableness? The least able person in the universe, L. Ron Hubbard, trying to judge people on their ableness. It supports and coordinates the church's social betterment causes, such as combating drug use. I guess L. Ron Hubbard didn't get the memo. Advancing human rights and improving literacy. When Cruz, Scientology's most famous parishioner, okay, let's see, they always change their titles, said in a 2006 video that Scientologists were the authorities on drug treatment. He was talking about Narconon. Parishioners are pressed hard to donate. Now, an unflattering focus on Narconon poses a potential new threat to Scientology's image, which has suffered since defectors began speaking out in 2009 about staffer abuses and overly aggressive fundraising, allegations the church has denied. Narconon's umbrella organization, Narconon International, always got to, cleanse the money, was founded in 1970 to guide Narconon centers around the world. The nonprofit centers pay Narconon International 10% of their revenues, kind of like tithes, huh? According to documents the church gave the IRS in 1993. We know that's dependable. Although the church does not file IRS returns, its non-religious nonprofit affiliates report income and expenses. Narconon International said in its most recent filing, it took $5.6 million, it's a Jesuit number, in 2010. The organization said it had 53 residential programs across the world and that more than 2,800 people graduated from the centers that year. They recruit them too. Like, what was that goofy guy? I think his name was David something, like David Sanchez or something, when DOA was doing a barbecue out in front of the Blue Building. Or Perez. Could have been David Perez. I want to say Sanchez. Sanchez. My ex-husband had a name like that. So, I believe that's where he came from. From one of those, maybe Narconon or something. Said it had 53 residential programs across the world and that more than 2,800 people graduated from the centers that year. An outcome monitoring effort found 75% of those clients were free of drugs in the year after they left, please. 3 Narconon centers are in Florida, an outpatient center in Clearwater, and residential facilities in Spring Hill and Destin. The facilities are licensed by the Department of Children and Families. Recent inspection results were not immediately available for the Clearwater and Spring Hill centers. Inspectors have given the Destin facility consistently high performance ratings since 2010. The Oklahoma facility known as Narconon Arrowhead is on Eufaula Lake in Pittsburgh County, about 90 miles south of Tulsa. It can treat as many as 150 to 200 clients. The center took in $8.6 million, there's 86, another death number, in 2010 and spent $7.9 million on operating expenses and drug awareness efforts. According to IRS filings, it reported helping 529 people with drug rehabilitation services and life skills courses that they had to pay for, of course. Or they do like to make people indebted to them, including children. Pittsburgh Assistant District Attorney Richard Hall said the Sheriff's Office and state mental health and substance abuse officials are conducting separate investigations. Yeah, we could trust that. They are awaiting autopsy findings and toxicology reports in Murphy's death, which are expected by early September. You got to admit, fudging people's deaths, what easier and better way than to fudge someone who has a drug or alcohol addiction problem? Because they're not important, right? Health officials will explore whether there are grounds to seek an injunction against Narconon Arrowhead, Hull said. The center is cooperating with the investigation, Hull said. Hull, maybe you should go and call Quebec. Seems like in Quebec they kind of get it. Officials are also investigating the deaths of 21-year-old Hillary Ann Holton, of Carrollton, Texas, 32-year-old, not 33, Gabriel W. Graves of Owasso, Oklahoma, and 28-year-old Casey Diane Warnick of St. Augustine. Holton died on April 11th and Graves on October 26th. Holton's autopsy report also has not been completed. Of course it hasn't. Her obituary in the Dallas Morning News said she died of complications from pneumonia and congenital adrenal hyperplasia. Gotta admit, that's a good cover-up, right? So in my opinion, the medical examiner could not find a cause of death for Graves. The Oklahoma facility, known as Narconon Arrowhead, is on Ifula Lake. Wait a minute, I read this. Sorry, guys, I lost my place. Warnick died in March 2009 after she was transferred to a Tulsa hospital. Her parents sued Narconon Arrowhead, alleging it gave her the wrong medication, what I tell you guys, and failed to get her proper care. It's medical negligence. After she developed an upper respiratory infection. The family and the center settled the case last year. Narconon Arrowhead director Gary Smith did not respond Wednesday to a request for comment, nor did Narconon International president Clark Carr. In Quebec, authorities ordered the Narconon in Trois-Rivières to close after inspectors found several newly mandated operational criteria needed corrections. Here's the 32 again. The center was told to move its 32 clients to other Narconon facilities. Most were placed in centers in the United States, the Gazette in Montreal reported. POW said Quebec's changes to its laws mandating medical detoxification have not been adopted by other provinces. Narconon facilities remain open there. David Love, 60, told the Tampa Bay Times this week he spent 11 months at the Trois-Rivières Center, 5 months as a client, and the following 6 months on staff. Hey, you gotta admit, that's some good human trafficking labor, isn't it? Addicted to painkillers after 4 back surgeries, he checked himself in on December 1st, 2008. Now they're going to turn it around and make Scientology great. I guess it sucks for the 4 dead people, though, right? You know, death number 4. The center told clients they should expect a 3-month minimum stay. Love said cost was $23,000. The center gave Love a discount because he was unemployed, he said. He started in a withdrawal unit with about 7 other new arrivals. Can somebody tell me why we're talking about this other guy? Why are we not talking about the 4 dead ones? Guys, notice Scientology hasn't been brought up yet. He started in a withdrawal unit with about 7 other new arrivals. Were they kids? Were they under 18? The clients paired up, sat facing one another at close distance, and practiced making eye contact and other drills requiring them to focus. No mention of Scientology. You guys, which drill is that they make you stare at each other and then something like that anyways. After 9 days, he joined longer-term clients in the main unit. 10 days later, he began a daily regimen of 5-hour sauna treatments. This is Scientology. All medical neglect, medical malpractice. Increasing dosages of niacin, which is a form of vitamin B available over the counter. The staff gave him 100 milligrams the first day and upped his dosages 100 milligrams each day thereafter. You know, the non-medical people giving medical advice and killing people, but, you know, it's my opinion. On his 26th and final day in the sauna, Love ingested 2,600 milligrams of niacin, he said. The niacin treatments concern him because he suffers from liver fibrosis, he said. The sauna treatments were followed by 3.5 months of studying Hubbard teachings. Oh, now they finally bring up the word. Familiar to all Scientologists. Great place to indoctrinate people when you're getting off drugs or alcohol, right? Could you be more vulnerable? He said he knew from the start he was in a Scientology environment, but no one pressured him to join the church. It's probably illegal. It's probably why they're not doing it. He took a job on the center staff after graduating from the treatment program. Because, all this information is so pertinent to the 4 people that died. He started as a course room supervisor. Isn't that wonderful? Paid less than minimum wage until he protested, he said. He quit on November 3rd, 2009, after arguing with supervisors that the center's advertised 70% success rate was inflated, he said. Powell said Love is an extremist. So, Powell probably thinks all of us are extremists too. Or maybe she's just dumb. Who has been trying to generate negative coverage of Narconon. Oh, I guess sucks for the 4 dead people, huh? Powell. Describing Love as an anti-Scientologist. The 4 dead people, were they anti-Scientologists too, Karen? Those four people laying cold, dead, never to talk to their parents again. Were they anti-Scientologists too, Karen? Any statements by him are undoubtedly false. They're not even creative. Joe Childs can be reached at childs@tampabay.com. Thomas C. Coben can be reached at tobin@tampabay.com. Information from the Associated Press was used in this report. Reporter Thomas C. Coben. I will leave a link in the description box. Like and subscribe if you choose. Otherwise, have an amazing day or night wherever you are. Peace.